Hello everyone, welcome back to the online class. Today we'll start where we left in the last meeting. Para number 8 is to be explained. One day an accident befell him. I put down poison barium carbonate to kill the rats and mice that had got into my library. Bruno entered the library as he often did, and he ate some of the poison. Paralysis set into the extent that he could not stand on his feet, but he dragged himself on his stumps to my wife, who called me. I guessed what had happened. Off I rushed in the car to the Waits residence. A case of poisoning, 10 beer, barium carbonate, what to do? One day, an accident took place with Bruno, the pet animal. The narrator put down poison. It was barium carbonate to kill the rats and mice that had got into my library. Narrator kept barium carbonate, it is a poison, in his library in order to kill rats and mice, okay, who had got into his library. Bruno, the pet animal, entered the library as he often entered, and he ate some of the poison. He took some of the poison. Paralysis set into the extent, and it resulted paralysis. I could not understand, and he could not understand, stand on his feet. He could not properly stand on his feet because he was suffering from paralysis, and he dragged himself on his stumps to my wife. Eventually, Bruno staggered himself on his feet, stumps, and went to narrator's wife, who called me. Narrator's wife called the narrator. Narrator guessed what had happened with Bruno. Off I rushed in the car to the witch residence, doctor's residence. I reported him a case of poisoning, 10 beer. He had taken barium carbonate. What to do now? Next, we'll start ninth paragraph. Let me set the page. Out came his medical books, and a feverish reference to index began. What poison did you say, sir? Barium carbonate. When the doctor opened his book and he went through it, a feverish reference to index began. He was going through the index of his medical books. Finally, he questioned, what poison did you say, sir? I replied him, barium carbonate. Yes, barium salts. Barium carbonate. Symptoms, paralysis, treatment, injections of, just a minute, sir. I'll bring my syringe and the medicine. Means the doctor was going through his medical book and index. He was finding out what may be the treatment to be given to the Bruno. He was reading paralysis treatment, injection of what? I mean, what should be injected to the Bruno or to the animal? Now, I'll bring my syringe and the medicine. The doctor took his syringe, hypodermic syringe, which is used to inject with medicines. A dash back to the car, Bruno still floundering about on his stumps, but clearly weakening rapidly. some vomiting, heavy breathing with having flanks and gaping mouth. A dash back to the car. Bruno still floundering about on his stumps. Means Bruno was still hardly moving and he was hardly supporting on his stumps. Means he could not stand properly yet, but clearly weakening rapidly, and he was rapidly, very fast, being weak. Some vomiting, heavy breathing, he was panting, he was gasping for breathing, with having flanks and gasping mouth, and he was opening his mouth constantly. It seems that something has happened downhill with Bruno and he is about to be dead. Now, 10th paragraph. Hold him, everybody. In goes to hypodermic. Bruno squells. 10 cc of the antidote enters his system without a drop being wasted. Now, the doctor shouted to hold him, everybody. Means he told everybody to hold firmly the Bruno. In goes to hypodermic. Bruno squells. 10 cc. Means 10 cc. It is a kind of antidote which is given when we need to react the poison in someone's body, and without a drop being wasted, it was injected successfully. 10 minutes later, condition unchanged. Another 10 cc injected. After 10 minutes, there was no improvement. 10 cc, another 10 cc was injected. 10 minutes later, breathing less, stertorous, noisily breathing as he snoring. Okay, it seems that he was snoring. Karate Lena. Bruno can move his arms and legs a little, although he cannot stand yet. Bruno could move his arms and his legs a little, although he cannot stand. However, he could not stand properly. After 30 minutes, Bruno gets up and has a great feat. He looks at us disdainfully, and as much to say, what's a barium carbonate to a big black bear like me? Bruno is still eating. Now Bruno was fed. Bruno was eating as much as to say, it seems that he was saying, barium carbonate is nothing to a big black bear like me. It's nothing what I took. Now, 11th, another time he found nearly 1 gallon of old engine oil, which I had drained from the stump of the Studebaker and was keeping as a weapon against inroads of termites. He promptly drank a lot, but it had no ill effects whatever. Another time, another accident took place in Bruno's life was about 1 gallon of old engine oil. Okay, the narrator kept 1 gallon of old engine oil in order to inroads the termites. You can say दीमकों को मारने की एक दवा, ठीक है. And an old American car, Studebaker. I had drained from the stump of Studebaker and was keeping as a weapon. एक हथियार की तरह रखा था, and he took it from an old American car. एक पुरानी अमेरिकन कार थी जहां से वो इंजन ऑयल लिया था, और वो किस लिए रखा था? अगेंस्ट द इनरोड ऑफ टर्माइट्स, दीमकों को मारने की दवा बनाकर रखा था. He promptly drank the lot, और ब्रूनो बहुत ढेर सारा ऑयल पी गया. But it had no ill effects whatever. But it did not affect Bruno. ब्रूनो को ये प्रभावित नहीं करता है. But लेकिन months rolled on महीनों बीत गए, and Bruno had grown many times the size he was when he came. Means he was rapidly growing up. बहुत तेजी से बढ़ रहा था. He was being larger in his size. He had equaled the Alsatian in height and had even outgrown them. Finally, he became equaled the Alsatian height. जो बगल में हमारे कुत्ते थे उन कुत्तों की हाइट के बराबर हो गया. एंड हैड इवन आउट ग्रोन देम, और फिर उनसे भी बड़ा हो गया. बट वॉज जस्ट एज स्वीट, लेकिन अभी भी वो बहुत ही स्वीट था. जस्ट एज मिस्चीवियस, बहुत ही शरारती था. जस्ट एज प्लेफुल, बहुत ही खेलता कूदता था. एंड ही वॉज वेरी फॉन्ड ऑफ अस ऑल, और वो हम लोगों से बहुत ही प्रेम करता था. He liked us, adored us too much. Above all, he loved my wife. वो मेरी बीवी को बहुत ही पसंद करता था. And she loved him too. और मेरी बीवी भी ब्रूनो को बहुत मानती थी, बहुत प्यार करती थी. She had changed his name from Bruno to Baba. और मेरी बीवी ने ब्रूनो का नाम बदलकर बाबा रख दिया, क्योंकि वो साइज में बड़ा हो गया था. अब a Hindustani word signifying a small boy, and it signifies the meaning of a small boy in India. भारतीय भाषा की अगर बात करें तो इसका सेंस एक छोटा सा बच्चा. बाबा का मतलब एक छोटा सा बच्चा, नरेटर के अकॉर्डिंग. एंड ही कुड डू अ फ्यू ट्रिक्स, और जो ब्रूनो है वो कुछ ट्रिक्स भी कर सकता है. मीन्स ही अंडरस्टैंड्स सम ट्रिक्स, सम कमांड्स, एंड ही फॉलोज द सेम, और वो वैसा ही करता है एज ही इज टोल्ड, जैसा उसे कहा जाता है. एट द कमांड बाबा रेशल और बाबा बॉक्स, ही विगोरसली टैकल्ड एनीवन हु केम फॉरवर्ड फॉर अ रफ एंड टम्बल. जब उसको कमांड किया जाता है बाबा रेशल, बाबा बॉक्स, तो वो बहुत ही बहादुरी से उसके सामने जो भी रहता है उसके साथ फाइट करने की कोशिश करता है. गिव हिम अ स्टिक एंड से बाबा होल्ड गन, एंड ही पॉइंटेड द स्टिक एट यू. और उसको एक स्टिक देकर जैसे ही बोला जाता था कि बाबा होल्ड द स्टिक, पॉइंट द गन, तो वो स्टिक को लेकर और पॉइंट करता था जो भी उसके सामने खड़ा रहता था. इट सीम्स दैट ही इज अवेयर ऑफ कमांड्स and asked where is the baby, and he immediately produced a cradled, you can say he took something in his lap as he is feeding a baby. ऐसा लगता था कि वो एक छोटे से बच्चे को अपनी गोद में लेकर फीड कर रहा हो. ठीक है. So these all were the features of Baba that he learned, and he usually did whatever was told to him. Bruno became very grown up rapidly, and he became up to the height of Alsatian. There were a few dogs in the neighborhood of narrator. Bruno outgrown them, and what happened finally, narrator's wife changed his name Bruno to Baba, which means or signifies a small boy in terms of Hindustani language. And Baba means Bruno had some tricks, he could understand some commands like Baba wrestle, Baba box. He finally came to fight the man whoever came forward to him, and give a stick and say Baba hold gun. Whenever we gave him a stick and command Baba hold the gun, he pointed the stick at you. It seems that he is about to shoot you. And when we asked him Baba where is the baby, he immediately produced a cradle of something, took in his lap, and it seems that he is looking after a baby. ऐसा लगता था कि वो अपनी गोद में एक छोटे से बच्चे को लेकर प्यार कर रहा हो. That's it for this lecture. Next from 13 onwards we'll start from tomorrow.